So, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us once again in this ninth webinar of Essentials of Business Basic Dynamics. Today, our topic is leverage. So, leverage is basically an area where whatever processes we have settled down in an organization to bring that in the same format and use it to scale up your business. So this session is basically covering up what we have discussed before sessions when we started from January 22nd and crossed one step by another step, and we reached a step which is leverage today. So before we go for that, let's see a video which will talk about an organization action coach who has trained me to be a certified business coach in this country. Let's see.
Build abundance through business re-education. Since 1993, Action Coach business coaches have lived that vision. They're helping business owners across the planet build great companies, create more jobs, and truly grow their communities. Real people getting real results. We've always believed that being in business should give you more life. Right now, we believe in something even greater. The abundance of those amazing business owners, the abundance of the employees in those companies, the abundance of providing free education to every business owner and every local or national business group globally, the abundance of being there for you and every business that needs us right now.
So let me continue, take the discussions from here itself. Action Coach business coaching platform. Let me talk a little bit about this organization. This organization is solely owned and founded by Mr. Brad Sugars in 1993, when he not only thought about the businesses in Australia, but he thought that he should give a global platform to the small businesses across the world. Hence, he developed an organization called Action Coach. Action Coach was conceived by him in 1993 in Australia and later on shifted to a place called Nevada in Las Vegas. Today, this organization is present in approximately 96 countries, including this country, and over 4,500 coaches are regularly coaching small, medium enterprises across the world. The efficiency of this organization is that it brings success to the table. It gives the entrepreneur the momentum which he requires while conducting a business. And today I am also a certified executive as well as a business coach from this organization, Action Coach. The motto, the fundamental truth of the organization is re-education, business re-education, bringing abundance to the people, to the business people in business re-education. So let's go. Today, our topic again is leverage, understanding and optimizing the resources which you are already having with you. That's very important because we can have everything together. We can plan everything together, but at the same time, if we don't leverage them and use them, optimize them to bring the required benefit to the organization, to the system, then all these processes will not work properly. What is the most, before I get into the main subject, I would like to ask you something, what are the most common setbacks that a business owner goes through, an entrepreneur goes through? Obviously, it is in the screen. It is customer leaving the organization. No, at this particular moment, I'm not talking about whether people of the organization are leaving the organization, but we are today talking about customers leaving the organization and why customers leave organizations and what are the percentage of customers who are leaving our organization from time to time and what are the reasons behind it. Let's go through that. The picture on the left, what it shows, wanted customers with no previous experiences, because every businessman thinks that they will give the full training to that particular individual to become a customer. Hence, a small joke in the morning, wanted customers, no previous experiences needed, as full training will be given by us. Hence, apply. Hence, be our customer. So let's get back to the situations where we think why people leave us. Statistics says 1% of the customers leaves us because obviously there are deaths. 3% of our existing customers leaves us because they move their house from the current places, which is very obvious. They may not stay in the same place, hence they are not coming to your showroom or to your shop to buy your services or to buy your products. Let's go back. 5%, what happens when you are doing a business and then he finds that some of his friends are also doing their business. So out of social obligation, he moves on to his friend because he's getting the same product for him. So when he gets the same product from him also and from you also, psychologically he moves towards his friend. 9% are the reason, which is a very valid reason, where we say it is sold by a competitor. And that is very natural because you will always have a competitor along with you, because without competition, the business doesn't go. I know there are a lot of entrepreneurs will talk about the same thing, that we want to do business without competition. But I can tell you one thing, don't ever try to believe that, don't ever try to dream that you want to sell something without any competition. I can promise you, I can tell you with an oath that competition has to come, and this competition will help you to grow more. So leave apart that 9%, nothing to worry about it. Even you cannot worry about people who are leaving you because they die. You cannot worry about people who are moving their houses from your vicinity. You cannot actually stop people when they're wanting to buy from their friends because of social obligation. And at some times, you also cannot stop people who are buying from your competition. The worry, the point of discussion comes from these areas. 14% because of the product, maybe the product today which you are selling, which you were selling from time to time, is not required now. Maybe the utility of those products have become redundant now, probably. It has become more price sensitive and you are not accepting that, probably. Customers may be leaving you. So these are the few areas where death, moving out of the house, buying from a friend, sold by your competition, the product features are becoming redundant, not required right now at this particular moment. The prices of the product, what you were selling, maybe have become more competitive, which you are not actually accepting or getting into it. But the majority of the customers leaves us because perceived indifference, a very big subject, a very worryful subject, a subject which has to be constantly looked after, reviewed after, whenever you feel like from your old databases, and to find out, you will always find that 68% of your old customers are leaving you because of some type of information which he didn't like, because of some type of behaviors he was not actually wanting to accept it. There would have been some perceived indifferences where I think I was right and the customer thinks customer was right. These are the perceived. Now, what are those? Why this happens? Why this happens? Why people leave us? And why 68% leave us because of perceived indifferences? This is a completely different subject. We are not going to talk about it at details right now. I'm just telling you what are the reasons. 68% of people left you because you just didn't care for them. You took them as granted. ये मेरा ही customer है, किधर जाएगा? I am giving him all the services. so he should not leave us. Correct? So in that case, a simple sentence, I think, says a lot. You just didn't care. I will give an example who actually didn't care in the market and what happened to him. You all know about him. I will come to that. You lost data. You are not using your CRM effectively. You don't know who was with you 4 years back. You don't have that data that how the customers, when the customers are moving out from your system, because you see people always coming down to your system, the new people, the new generation coming down to your system. So we are actually ignoring the people who are already there in the system but are not coming now. It's a very general mistake, very, very general mistake. It happens automatically. Hence, we need to build up the system where it helps us to review the people who was there in the system at one point of time and is not there. Because old customers are really gold customers. Either they buy or they refer or they exchange or they buy something else from you. Whereas a new customer, when it comes to you, they come with a particular purpose. If it happens, it's very good. If it doesn't happen, fine. He takes an information from your end. So please, I would request you once more in this perspective that care for the people who left you. Don't ignore them. Try to retrieve all the data from your system from the day you started this journey. And this is one of the most relevant reasons. Sometimes because of our own ego, of some misunderstanding, or by some misinformation which has been shared to us because of our team, we are reluctant to reapproach. Just think it. You will find so many people you have stopped reacting, you have stopped reapproaching because he has not agreed to be with you at one point of time. It's very natural, the person inside our own system sometimes become bigger than us. And that name of the person is ego, equal to God only. Sometimes we think whatever we think, it did not be reviewed, and hence it is known as ego, equal to God only. So if we take care of these 3 steps, actually, we can reinvent our business in a completely different formatted way. This is perceived indifferences. Please look into this, believe this, and it will give you all the answers which you have been trying to find out from these days. वो कहाँ चला गया, वो कस्टमर मेरे पास आया था, हमने उसको सप्लाई किया था, फिर भी मेरे पास बैठा नहीं था, फिर वो चला गया, लेकिन आज भी तो वो घर बना रहा है, लेकिन मेरे से सीमेंट तो नहीं ले रहा है. But what happens, that person in our own system called ego, it is कि नहीं, जरूरत नहीं है, अगर वो मेरे पास आया नहीं तो नहीं आया होगा. But what happens when you actually shed this person out of you and go to that Mr. X and tell him कि आप क्यों नहीं ले रहे हैं मेरे से, क्या प्रॉब्लम है आप, where did we actually make a mistake in serving you? This simple sentence can actually turn around the table. This simple sentence actually can turn around the table for you, gentlemen, and that will help you to get back the people who were with you when you started off, and they will add lot of positivity in your organization. Let's go down to some. So now if you go back and calculate, you will not be able to believe it also, that how many clients, how many customers, how many guests. Now I am using the word guests for the people who might be listening to this, seeing this from the hospitality segment. Because in hospitality segment, customers, the words customers and clients are not used. In hotels, in restaurants, and in aviation industries, wherever there is, service oriented and hospitality is there, the word guests are relevant. Do you know this picture? Who is this guy? Can anybody tell us on the chat who is this person? Obviously, the story is known by us. We all know the story. Come on, friends, we are only here for 30-35 minutes. Can we make it a little bit interactive and find out who was there when Nokia was actually losing its roots in this business? He was a very interesting person, and thus he gave this, and thus he actually purposely told this. We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost this market. We all know the story of Nokia, how they were actually, I'm sorry to use the word ruling us, but they were so much abundant in the market that nobody was able to come to the market. But they actually forgot to understand the ripples which is coming inside the market from other people. They forgot to understand what is the current need of the people. They forgot to understand how LG and other people are trying to bring in other features in a much stronger way, in a much attractive way down to the system. And hence, calling is no more important. I'm sorry, it is not so much important in a mobile phone today. Today, people buy mobile phone not only because of calling, but because of communication through various factors. Because of the camera, of course, we see in our houses everywhere. So this gentleman is Jarman Olila. He was the CEO of this organization that particular time, and he was the person who has actually given this statement in an open forum that we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost it. So interesting. And this bit of information actually says a lot of things about what is a perceived indifference and how do we actually forget to take care of them. All along these days from Jan 22 till today, we were talking about these things on the system which has been created by Action Coach. We discussed about masteries, the 3 levels of masteries. Then we discussed about niche, how to find out the niche in our business to create the predictable cash flow. We actually talked about team in 2 sessions differently because it was a wide subject and a very wide subject discussed about it. And hence today we are talking about leverage to bring the efficiency in the system where we take mastery, niche, team together and find out a well-oiled machine inside it. After this, we will talk about synergy and result, how to synergize everything together so that it works like a well-oiled machine, and the results, how do you move towards your new business, keeping your current business running in the same platform if we are following these steps. And thus these are the 6 steps which gives you the massive results in the business. We have 2 more sessions in this series. One will be on 11th of June and the other will be on the 4th Saturday. I don't remember the date right now. We will see it in the sheet few minutes later also on that. So these are the systems which we have talked about elaborately, and then We are talking to different people who are already in this seminar separately also, where they are mastering, trying to find out more details about the different subjects into this. Let's understand what is leverage and why leverage is required. So what is a leverage? We all know about the physics, right? Where we put a fulcrum between the length of the stem, and it helps you to understand how to make it easy with a lesser force. I repeat the same word, how to make it easy with a lesser force. This leverage word has been borrowed from physics, but today frequently used in financial institutions to gain a very higher financial benefit compared to the charges payable. In a simplified way, gaining larger benefits by using lesser amount of force. The last statement actually will keep a little bit of sense in talking about the business, gaining larger benefits by using lesser amount of force. The more you systemize your system, the more you get more benefits in comparison to the force which you are putting in. However, in a business management, that's what it says, leverage is creating systems and processes inside the organization to increase efficiency and productivity. Once done, enjoy repeatedly. Hence, when you create a system, leverage out, it is done for once. You need to only revise it time to time to see that the efficiency continues and it does and keep on enjoying. You can create the same system not only for one business but for multiple businesses. That is why what is a leverage? So coordinating, collaborating, putting the systems, the team in place, the senior people, the management, the man management, the time management, everything together we talk about. Why leverage is required. Whether it is required to leverage or it is not required to leverage, just find out. Today, when we are talking at this particular moment, there is one session going on in Kolkata regarding SMEs and MSMEs, where we found out 83 million SMEs and MSMEs in this country. The strongest force which helps business to run in this country. 42% of the small businesses fail because there is no market for their product or their service. They lose their goal. They lose their destiny for what they have come into this business. It also says 14% of the small businesses fail because they ignore their customers. Nobody can deny this. We do it sometimes. Yeah. 23% of small businesses also fail because they don't have the right team. And 29% of small businesses ran out of their cash in the first year of running business. Maybe number of places it happens like this. So these are the basic 4 reasons which we thought of putting in before you so that it cautions you. This data, I got it from Entrepreneur Insight. You can always refer to that and find out more details about why we are losing businesses, why every day 5 out of 10 businesses are closing down and new 5 are coming up. The numbers remain the same, but the scenario doesn't remain the same. That is why to synergize everything together and use them to a bigger goal in an easier way is the reason why you should leverage it out. Thank you so much for being with me till now. We will just go through small areas where we can discuss it much more details when we talk to each other personally or on a personal front. So this is an operational leverage, how it travels from technology, finance, to get the product developed, put the product in the marketing phase, use the human resources to push them, find out the cost efficiency in comparison to the people. Remember that word of competition, give it a good governance. If all these things, the steps moves on as per the cycle, you are actually being positive on the operational leverage. If anybody wants to take a snapshot of this, please take it. This is from a magazine called The Circle. This is the operational leverage circle. It is being followed by different MNCs, by different multinational groups to run their product into this. So creating the technology, that is an HR, that is an, sorry, R&D of your department, amalgamating the R&D cost with the finance people, whether it is viable or not viable, creating the product, marketing the product before jumping into the market, to create that awareness, to make people understand what it is and what it is coming for and why it is coming for, how it is beneficial to them. Get the human resources people in place, get the right people in the right spots in the right time. When the bowel is hot, the water is hot. Find out the cost efficiency, way of marketing it, way of using it, put it in a proper system, that is corporate governance. Please go ahead and read the Circle, which is a very online platform where you can learn a lot of things about it. When I press the button out here, we will understand what are the 4 ways of leverage. So let's press it one by one. Number 1, the 4 way of leveraging your organization is looking into your people and educating them from time to time. Don't just educate them about the product, because the product may not stay with you in your organization, with your team for lifelong. But a team, however long they stay with you, they will stay with loyalty. They will stay royally with you. Here, people get mixed up with a sense of dilemma where we talk about loyalty and royalty. What is required? But actually, both are required. So it's a combination of royalty and also being loyal to the system that makes a good team, a good person. So education has not only to be given to the people on the products, on the sales component, but also on their human behavioral conducts. The second is the systems and technology. These are the another important areas where you have to leverage out. Putting the system and the technology together to educate the people, to get the people in the right place. Deliveries and distribution, accounting, measure it of your available resources. It's very easy to change the system. A few days back, we were talking about, control C, control V. Whatever we see good in other organization, we just pick it up and try to embed in our own organization, irrespective of whether it suits it or not. It is always good to take the good from others. But when you imply that good to your own system, you have to understand the strength of acceptance of those goods in your system. So do it slowly. Otherwise, you will always get into the mode of control Z. So control C, control V are the easy steps. But to put those plays into optimization and leverage it out in our system is the most important to avoid that control Z. Hence, let's go to the 4th part, the testing and measure. So to avoid a control Z at every moment of time, You have to keep on testing and measuring what is happening to the system, to the processes which you have just inducted there. It's very important. You have to keep on trying and testing because no system is, foolproof. There will be always a miss at some point of time, which you have to immediately go and stop it, clear it out, and then again let it move. So that is what the 4 ways of leverage: people and education, systems and technology, accounting and measure deliveries, distribution of your available resources, which is already there with you, and testing and measuring whatever you are implanting or inducting into your system. I give you a small brief of 9 steps to systemize your business one by one. It will not take so much of a time, but there is a book called Instant Systems by Mr. Brad Sugars. You can always access that book from Amazon or any other online platform, but it is always good to read a physical book rather than an audible book. So that gives a different sense. After all, with me, I hope it is always with you also. The 9 steps to systemization of your business: creating a vision statement, logging it down to the mission part of your organization, because or not the vision itself is not sufficient to run the system what you want to run. It has to be a mission statement also. A culture statement. It defines a lot. The culture of your organization defines a lot. People see that culture, people observe the mission of your organization, and they actually notice where you are wanting to go, what is your vision. So these 3 are very important, followed by creating smart goals, of course, what we are going to do in the next 90 days, 120 days, 365 days, 700 days, 900 days. That is how you plan your goals, so that it is set completely in black and white and is not in the mind itself. It is in the black and white. Organization chart. One of the most important things. What is the hierarchy? What are the do's and not to do's in your organization? Who is going to do what and at what time? Because when you do a right thing at the right time, it gives the right result. But on the other hand, when I do a right thing in the wrong time, it is unobserved, it is just lost. So the organization chart tells you the hierarchy of the system and the deliverables of the people in the system, what they are going to deliver. Positional contracts, why we are here, why a person has been inducted in the organization, what is the reason behind it? What is his deliverables, KPIs, the key performance indexes. There is a belief that in few of my old clients and people whom I interact with, that KPIs are only for the sales team. No, gentlemen and ladies, it is not like that. KPI is for everybody, including you as an entrepreneur, including me, because end of the day, I am an entrepreneur. This is my business. So I have to set my own KPIs. And when I set my own KPIs, I exactly know what to do and when to do, why to do. So automatically, when I know what to do, when to do, why to do, how to do it becomes very easy. So KPIs, if you have not done KPIs in your system, please do it. If you want any help from us, if you want our collaboration with you, let us know. We will be too happy to help you in this journey. How to run your system after putting in the KPIs. There, where a business coaching comes through, putting in place your management systems. So these are the 9 steps which have been smartly noted down step by step by Mr. Brad Sugars, how it helps the small business enterprises, the SMEs, the MSMEs, to develop their entire system into a profitable contract, then only why, when, what transforms into how, and you start getting the result through. A very important subject: divide to multiply. Ever more with ever less. How to get ever more with ever less. And this is the time, this is the area where you start the process of getting the business to work without you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs, business people who are with us, don't be afraid. Don't misquote us like saying business without you, because there is a lot of confusion whenever I pick up this issue in the system. Working without you does not say that the person who has created or conceived the businesses should be out of the business. It only says that you can also run a commercially profitable business without you interfering at each and every stage of the business. It's basically a balance of 80:20. 80:20 is an exercise which larger organizations do carry out. Bigger organizations are actually struggling to carry out 80:20. What is that 80% and what is the 20%? Not only in your job, but also in your time. So the 9 steps, then the 80:20, and here the SMART goals. What is a SMART goal? How to create that SMART goals? What we have just seen in this thing, right? The 4th one, the SMART goals. We'll talk about only the SMART goals today, because each and everything I will take more than 3 days to tell you. So I will not be, I will not be able to tell you everything in a very short thing, but I've chosen the SMART goals to be discussed out here. The SMART goal. SMART has got some smart meaning also. Let's find out. Specific, measurable, achievable, result oriented, and within a particular time frame. This is actually the smart way of doing it, whether in your profession, whether in your personal life, anywhere. Specific, measurable, achievable, result oriented, and within a particular time frame. So the SMART goals, if it is actually inducted in your organization, how the company will look like, to be more specific, create a 5-year, or somebody takes a 3-year goal, or rather I will tell you, take a 5-year goal, cascade it down to 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, and finally get into a stage of 90 days. Measurable, very important. We all come into the business with a passion, but we forget to measure it. Then there starts the problem. There has to be a number, X, Y, Z, 100, 200, 300, 1 crore, 5 crore, 6 crore that I want to achieve. There has to be a number. Otherwise, you cannot measure that you have put it as 1 crore, but you have done only 68 lakhs. That means you still need to do 32 lakhs. Measure it, measurable. Make yourself measurable. Sometimes we think that we are the owners. हम ही मालिक है, हम किसको report करेंगे? Yes, sir, you need to report to yourself, to the smart system. Report it. Achievable. A very good point of discussions. 5 more minutes, gentlemen. A very good, which I want to, and I was really happy to talk about this in another forum. Achievable. Today, every business houses have come alive after the post-pandemic, during the post-pandemic period. People are trying to revive back, but at the same time, they are also trying to retrieve the losses what they have. So wherever they have stopped in 2019, or precisely at March 22nd of March 2020 was the day where we declared our new era. So whatever they have achieved there, they are not stopping there right now. They are thinking that, why will I say they? We are all thinking that if 21 and if 22 had been alive, then we should have touched here. And hence, if 2019 March, if I have ended at 2 crores, today we should gain at 8 crores. It sounds good. It's very good. It sounds very exciting. But is it achievable? Or are you stressing yourself to some unknown area? Because you may be thinking of achieving 8 crore in this financial year, in this fiscal year, because that will take care of the losses what you made. But my dear entrepreneurs, is this possible? It may be possible for BPCL. It may be possible for Bharat Gas. It may be possible for Indian Gas. But is it possible in SME and MSME related business? Think it over and then take a goal. But correction, the goal should not be easily achievable. Think it, redo it. Consult a proper business consultant, business coach that what is right. You have to stretch it so that it takes a little more pressure, energy to achieve it. The word R stands for result oriented. Focus on the outcome, not only on the activity. I know people say, काम करो result आपको मिल ही जाए. I also heard that. But I say, result देखो उस हिसाब से काम करो. In our previous days, there was a lot of time. काम करो फल आपको मिल ही जाए. But आज का दिन में result को decide करो, उस हिसाब से काम करो, so that you can achieve that result, because we are talking about smart goals. Time should be grounded with time frame, because always there has to be an urgency. Kal nahi, aaj. If you have to do something within a month, we have to find out to do something in 21 days, so that whatever is missing out in the 21 days can be taken care by the next 9 days. It's so easy to tell. But these are all the experiences, what we have seen in our day-to-day life. I'm only just trying to make it live. And all these features, all these discussions came from the Action Coach platform, the organization which has helped me to make people like you understand and grow their business. We are here to grow your business impact. So these are the schedules of engagements, what we have been doing from January 22nd. We have been talking about different aspects. The only 2 sessions left out is on 11th of June, where we're talking about synergy and results together. That is how to harness everything together and help you to reinvest in some other new thoughts and some other new businesses. Followed up by 25th June, the last one, a day where we will only talk about execution, lead generations, accessing, finding out KPIs, CRM, and all those things, with a little bit of, acknowledgement from our end, who had been with us in this continuous journey. There are people who are there at some times, who are not there at some times. I know, because it's a time, it's a business time, the business has opened up, so everybody's busy, but it is there. These things also helps you to rewind yourself. We are not trying to teach you something very, very new. We are just trying to ignite the things which are there with you, okay? And put that in the system. We are the CEOs of your organizations. Thank you so much for this Saturday. And we will just take 2 minutes to talk about our organization at Connect Redefining Businesses, which we have conceived in 2020 and with a vision with Action Coach, World Abundance through Business Re-education. Here in this organization, we talk about business coaching, consulting, bring together, finding out. I will tell you what we do. We do one-on-one coaching with business people, entrepreneurs, sit with them, find out and work with them towards with a goal, because we understood a business owner, an entrepreneur is the loneliest person in this world. They need somebody to talk to share with, because the steps what they take it individually, unanimously. Sometimes it creates a problem. People always want the best of an entrepreneur, but people don't understand the journey of an entrepreneur. We are there to understand that. And I come with 32 years of experience working in organizations like John Morrison, like Putney Computer Systems, Epson India Private Limited, KEI, and working with different culture at different part of my journey, finding out the KPIs where I have been adhered to, and finding out the journey of the people whom we used to work with, and helps me and gives me a better edge to understand entrepreneurs today. Have a chat with us. You will be surely happy to understand that how we actually coach and consult people. We also talk about Growth Club, where we bring in a lot of entrepreneurs together, and sometimes an outsider actually gives you a better answer. We also help you at AdConnect with a BBQ analysis. BBQ stands for Business Background Questionnaire Analysis. It tells you whether actually you require any extra or not. It actually gives a very, very clear picture of your business analysis. It comes with a very, very less cost, nothing great. Group coaching. Group coaching is a system which actually helps entrepreneurs to be in a group, but again, with an open mind, and discuss their problems, their business matters before with anybody. I can tell you something that gives a lot of good approach. It gives you a lot of good senses when you talk about your business matters with people who are not in your business. You get some ideas which will never come into your mind. So this is all what we do. Thank you so much once again from AdConnect team. And these are the coordinates of us. You can find us in Facebook, in Instagram, in LinkedIn, in Twitter, and in our YouTube channel. Get back to us whenever you want to. Our team will be in connect with you after this webinar, maybe not today, maybe on Monday. You can always come back for a 45. It's completely free, no charges, no obligations. We just want to talk and give you some ideas which may be helpful to you. Thank you so much, and a happy weekend to you, all of you. Forgot to tell you, see you again on 11th of January.